Could it really be possible that in just 60 seconds, a city as vast and relentless as Tokyo, one that never truly sleeps, suddenly lost emotional control simply because two figures appeared in public? No one was truly prepared for what happened that day. Even those who considered themselves devoted fans didn't expect that what seemed like a simple moment, two global idols arriving at an airport, would transform into an overwhelming emotional explosion that defied ordinary logic. And at the center of that perfectly chaotic storm, two names once again captured the world's attention: Kim Taehyung and Jungkook. It all began with a 60-second video. Just 1 minute. Nothing more. Yet that single minute was enough to nearly crash the Japanese internet, enough to spark thousands of theories, enough to leave fans holding their breath and asking, what exactly just happened? The footage showed an international arrivals gate that looked as routine as ever. People moved at their own pace. Suitcase wheels echoed softly across the floor, and airport announcements hummed faintly in the background. Nothing seemed unusual until the 12th second. The automatic doors slid open, and the two figures stepped out. That question seemed to echo simultaneously in the minds of everyone watching. Cameras that had once been unfocused suddenly snapped into motion, as if driven by instinct. Within seconds, the atmosphere shifted dramatically. Screams began, soft at first, then louder, until they became an uncontrollable wave of hysteria. Taehyung walked ahead. His style was effortless, dressed in casual attire that appeared simple yet radiated an undeniable charisma. Behind him, Jungkook followed, his expression calm, almost too calm for a moment like this. And that was where the first sense of unease emerged. Many noticed it. In a situation where most idols would wave enthusiastically, or at least flash a wide smile, Jungkook appeared more focused, more reserved. Was it just the camera angle? Or was something deeper unfolding beneath that composed exterior? The 25th second of the video became the most discussed turning point. Taehyung paused, just for a fraction of a moment. He turned to look at Jungkook. No words were heard, but that brief glance, so easy to miss, sparked thousands of theories. Some fans believed it was simply normal communication between close friends. Others sensed something different, a subtle tension, an unspoken message. And precisely because there was no explanation, the moment became even more mysterious. Outside the airport, the situation grew increasingly intense. Fans who had been waiting since early morning began to push forward. Some cried. Some screamed their names. Others trembled, as if they couldn't believe they were actually seeing Taehyung and Jungkook in person. What made everything even more intriguing was the fact that there had been no official announcement beforehand. The arrival felt sudden, unscheduled, almost as if it had been kept secret, yet somehow still leaked to the public. That question quickly spread across social media platforms. Within minutes, the 60-second clip went viral. Hashtags related to Taehyung and Jungkook soared to the #1 trending spot in Japan. Some local media outlets even reported a sharp spike in online traffic within a very short time. At the 40-second mark, the video revealed something even more surprising. A staff member appeared to guide them toward a special lane, but Taehyung stopped again, this time more clearly. He glanced toward the crowd and slightly raised his hand. Not a full wave, but enough to trigger an even louder reaction from fans. The smile was brief, very brief. Yet it was enough to silence many, even if only for a split second. Because it didn't look like an ordinary smile. There was something different, something difficult to explain, yet undeniably real to those who saw it. Speculation grew wilder. Some fans began connecting this moment to rumors that had circulated earlier. Rumors of a new project, a secret collaboration. Others even speculated about possible internal tension, though no concrete evidence supported such claims. But isn't it often the unseen that draws the most attention? The final seconds of the video served as both a perfect ending and a lingering mystery. As they walked out of the camera's frame, the sound of screams still echoed loudly. The footage shook slightly, as if the person recording had been swept up in the emotion. And just before the clip ended, a voice behind the camera could be heard saying, "This feels different. Something is different today." That sentence may have sounded simple, but that was precisely where its power lay. Because many felt the same way without truly knowing what was different. Since then, countless analyses have emerged. Some tried to decode Taehyung and Jungkook's body language. Others focused on their facial expressions, subtle movements, even the direction of their gaze. Every tiny detail became a subject of discussion. Interestingly, hours after the incident, there was still no official statement from their agency.
No clarification. No explanation.
And because of that silence, curiosity only intensified. Meanwhile, eyewitnesses at the scene began sharing their experiences. Some described the atmosphere as unusual. Others claimed the energy around them shifted the moment Taehyung and Jungkook appeared. A few even admitted they felt chills for no clear reason. Japanese media soon gave special attention to the event. Some headlines even labeled it as the 60-second phenomenon that shook Tokyo. A phrase that sounded exaggerated, yet difficult to deny when considering its impact. And yet, the deeper people tried to understand those 60 seconds, the more elusive the truth seemed to become. Because what followed after that viral clip was not clarity, but a spiral of questions that refused to settle. Within hours, new angles of the same moment began to surface. Different recordings, taken from slightly different positions, started circulating online. Each one seemed to reveal something new, something previously unnoticed. A shift in posture, a delay in reaction, a glance that lasted just a fraction longer than expected. Could it be that the original 60 seconds didn't tell the full story? One particular clip, captured from the left side of the arrival gate, quickly gained attention. In this version, Taehyung's brief tewakpuf, his pause, appeared slightly longer than in the original video. Not by much, perhaps 1 or 2 seconds. But in a moment already dissected down to milliseconds, even the smallest difference carried weight. Some fans pointed out that just before he turned toward Jungkook, Taehyung seemed to glance beyond the crowd, toward something or someone not visible in the frame. Theories erupted instantly. Was there a familiar face in the distance? A staff signal? Or something more unexpected? Meanwhile, Jungkook's behavior continued to draw scrutiny. In another clip, slowed down to half speed, his expression appeared to change almost imperceptibly at the exact moment Taehyung looked at him. His jaw tightened. His eyes shifted just slightly before returning forward. As the footage spread across international platforms, global fans joined the conversation. Discussions were no longer limited to Japan or Korea. Communities from the United States, Southeast Asia, Europe, everywhere began offering interpretations. And with each new perspective, the narrative became more complex. Some insisted there was nothing unusual at all, that what people were seeing was simply the result of heightened emotions and overexposure. After all, when millions of eyes are focused on a single moment, isn't it inevitable that meaning will be projected onto even the most ordinary gestures? There is also the question of timing. Why Tokyo? Why now? Why this specific arrival, with no prior announcement, no promotional build-up, no clear schedule attached to it? Adding to the mystery, several fans claimed that security presence at the airport that day felt unusually tight. More staff than expected. Faster movement coordination. Subtle attempts to redirect crowds before the idols even appeared. Individuals who were physically present at the scene began sharing longer, more detailed accounts. Not just what they saw, but what they felt. And interestingly, many of these accounts carried a similar tone. One witness described it as a moment where everything slowed down, even though everything was moving fast.